Hello, and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. I'm joined today with Meredith. Hello.
Hello.
Yay. Yes. So today's podcast is 2080.
Wow.
2080 of these things.
That's a nice number.
Golly. Yeah.
You talk a lot.
Yes, I do. I like to hear myself talk. Yes. Occasionally others, but mostly myself. Yeah. So we're talking about your contest prep.
Yep.
This is 14 weeks out, so we're coming up on 14 weeks.
That is insane.
Does that feel like, how does that make you feel? What's insane about it?
14 is not a lot of time.
Yes, it does feel. Yeah, since we're used to this. Like for us, like you're 10 weeks in, which sounds crazy. Sounds like that went like impossibly fast.
No.
It's been like 4, right?
Yeah.
Not 10.
Absolutely.
Yes. And then 14 is going to feel like 3 days.
3 very hungry days.
Yes. But it is true. Like 14 weeks out, you start to feel a little pressure.
I'm getting show anxiety.
Yeah. And it's interesting because as a coach, I've dieted myself many times to try to get into like that level of shape. The reason why I haven't competed is this is my cop-out answer, but I actually do believe this answer, is I had a lot of injuries from when I was younger and playing sports and stuff.
It's not a cop-out.
And I always hated that I was imbalanced.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I'm in my 20s, there's no grace for imbalance.
No.
None. Not even in your 30s anymore.
No.
So I was trying to fill those out, but then got sidetracked with powerlifting and some other things that I really enjoyed. Mm-hmm. So I do want to come back and do a show at some point in my life, but probably whenever the imbalances won't be as penalizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I've dieted, 14 weeks starts to feel like the, oh man, if I really want to be on time, I can't mess up anymore. Like
No.
I have to have everything crisp.
There is no wiggle room.
Yeah. And then that pressure just increases from here.
Correct.
Yes. But that's fun.
It's exciting still.
Yeah. Is it exciting to you still?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. I'm still excited. Still pumped. I haven't felt like this in a long time.
Ooh.
On many levels.
Let's unpack that a little bit. What do you mean by this? Like the excitement or the misery or the...
Miseries. We won't touch that. Excited.
Yeah.
I think knowing I'm going to look better soon.
Yeah.
I haven't had that feeling in a while.
Yes, and I want to extrapolate a little bit is knowing that you're going through some misery for yourself. And
versus misery for other people.
Yes. And that the misery is bringing this fun, exciting newness. And you've done a show before, but it's been 7-8 years.
Yeah, and it's a different class.
Yeah,
so
different different class, different section of life, time of life. Yeah. So it's going to be fun. And then you're also, we talked about it before, you're going to be turning 40 this year.
Hell
so
yeah.
it's badass to be coming into 40 and you're going to have
ripped
veins in your glutes.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, you're going to be awesome. Yeah.
I'm excited.
So, there's a lot of excitement for sure. Mm-hmm. And I love that you have that positivity and have that mindset.
Yeah.
Because that's a much healthier mindset to endure 14 more weeks.
Yeah. I still go back to a classmate of mine asking if it's basically for glory, to do a show. And
oh, yeah.
I said it's like a skill, sharpening a skill. So discipline is a skill.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I've been disciplined, but this is a different type of discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
Or it's more discomfort discipline.
Yes, I can understand what you mean by that.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. There's discipline because you have to do something. Then there's the discipline of, I chose to do this.
Yeah, and discipline to study for the GMAT was different than discipline like this.
Yeah. Can you put into words the difference? Like what somebody might feel like if they're feeling something similar in a sense okay, I studied for an exam.
Yeah.
I had a school class. I hit a final. That is a different type of discipline than contest prep. But I'm even kind of uncertain as to how to word that and why that is different.
So from a variety of different aspects, I feel as though understanding what the outcome will be of the show is different. Mm-hmm. I can trust that I can know how I'll look versus I'll know what my score will be.
Oh, okay. So you feel like there's a little more certainty.
There's a little more certainty.
Yes. You have a little more control over it.
And if I was studying, there's also diminishing returns when you're bodybuilding.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I guess you could also say studying, but for me, as you saw and witnessed and know, I could study all day long, and I could work all day long and not stop.
Yes. When you laser in on something, you can go 14, 16 hours easy peasy.
Blessing and a curse.
Yes.
But for this, you can't really do that. You can get a lot of steps in, but at some point, you're going to be either so hungry or uncomfortable, or you're so fatigued it can be dangerous. Like, there is a certain level of, okay, I have to stop now because it's better for me.
Yeah.
And I hear myself saying that, so maybe it's just me, but it just... Plus, if I'm studying and I can't concentrate because I'm hungry, I can eat.
True. You can get out of it. Yeah.
Now I can't.
No.
So...
Yeah. One of the ways...
different in a little...
I was talking with a client, like, earlier in the week. We were talking about active patience.
Interesting.
And what we meant was...
I like it.
When people talk about being patient on a diet, for example.
Yeah.
It's not passive. Like, patience isn't passive. You still have to do the effort every single day, all day.
I like that term.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
I believe I made it up, but I have no clue. I could have heard it in any of the audiobooks and podcasts I've listened to over the years. But yeah, so we were talking about how it's challenging because you have to put in effort every single day. Mm. So that's the active part. But you have to be patient because the efforts you put in every single day don't show for a while. What are you giggling about?
I'm laughing because it's also like, I'm really hungry now, but I know I can't eat for another 2 hours. What can I vacuum? What can I
yes. How can I stay busy? Yes.
So it's also like active patience.
There you go. Yes. Because you have to be active, doing something.
You need to distract yourself.
Yeah. Go for a walk with a dog.
Yep.
Yeah. But yes, we were talking about the challenge of success in many ways requires active patience. You have to do something every single day. You can't miss efforts, but it takes weeks and months, if not years, to be successful.
Yeah.
And that's a challenging balance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember if I've said it on a podcast before, but I think it all the time because it's a self-motivator. And kind of like you, I have no idea where I heard it or read it.
Yes.
And it's how you do anything is how you do everything.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
And I heard that once and I was like, well, damn.
Yeah,
I feel attacked.
Yeah.
So it's about me.
To own that is hard. Like, if you want to own that quote, you have to poke yourself in the chest at times.
It's challenging.
Yeah, but I like that. Yeah, like I used to... It goes back to... it reminds me in, religion is like...
Oh, boy.
Yes. So we'll unpack that a little bit. But I've mentioned in the podcast before, I'm Christian, and you are as well.
Yes.
Like in sermons or religious aspect is how you handle small things, small blessings, would determine how you'll handle big blessings. Mm-hmm. So if people want more money, it's like, well, how do you manage the money you have now?
Right.
If you want more success in business, how are you managing the success you have now? Mm-hmm. The things that you do now influence how you would do with larger things. And in a religious aspect, it's like, okay, well, can you be trusted with it? If not, then you probably not going to get it, that kind of thing. But if we come out of religion, is applying that to life is, okay, when I am in the bathroom and I rip off a piece of paper towel and a little shard falls on the floor, do I pick that up and throw that away, or do I just walk away and leave that? And whenever we had the public gym, that was something that drove me nuts. Because people would leave small pieces of paper towel on the floor. And I'm like, this is why you're still overweight. This is why you're still weak. This is why you didn't finish diets. This is why you never reach the goals you have, because you don't pick up the piece of paper towel.
Accurate.
And it would drive me insane.
Accurate. That case in point, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it got to the point to where if I wasn't giving 100% somewhere, I then wouldn't give 100% somewhere else.
Yes.
And it's almost like I didn't give my all, even if my all was 80 and I gave 80, that's 100 kind of a thing. Exactly. So if I only had 75% to give, but recognizing that. So if I only have, 50% across two things and I give 50 to both, then it's almost like if I slacked here, I won't let myself enjoy this.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it's trying to stay balanced.
The universal standard.
I really wish I could remember where I first heard that.
Yeah, I don't. I've heard it before, but I don't remember. But it's stuck with me
forever.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great concept. Paul Peterson and I have talked about that concept a lot in business.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Paul's awesome.
Yes. But that is, I like that as well, because those little phrases, those little reminders help you be better in weak moments.
Yes.
And then if you're better in weak moments, you're better across the board, and your quality, your standard increases over time. Mm-hmm. So then all of a sudden your weak moments aren't what they used to be, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's it's fun to have that awareness and then trying to hold yourself to that standard as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that's fun. So I do want to touch on, you hit a new weight PR this week.
I did. So excited.
Yes.
So excited.
Yeah. So
my lowest with you, right?
Yeah, the lowest that you and I have known each other since 2019.
That's gross.
No. No. I don't like that word. No.
Thank you for loving me.
Yeah,
and
you're gorgeous.
For thinking I'm beautiful.
Of course.
Yeah. I feel like a fat piece of shit.
So we're the exact same person. Yes, because I've used that exact phrase in many podcasts.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. But yes, you're doing great, and it's fun to see. It's fun to see the scale being one piece of data, how that's progressing and showing that we're doing well.
We can say the weight now that I'm looking at
the
scale.
You want to say, okay, how much do you weigh?
148.3.
There you go.
And I'm 5'2".
Yes.
So I am overweight, according to BMI.
Yeah, we touched a little bit last week on BMI.
And that's why I circled back to that. Because I know I'm not overweight. That's bullshit.
Not at all. No.
Absolute bullshit. Trash. Yeah. Trash advice.
Trash.
Trash panda.
Yeah.
148.3.
Yeah.
And I thought, is that really? So I weighed myself, 4 or 5 times.
Are the batteries dying?
It was consistent every time, yeah.
Yeah.
So, great.
Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we started the diet at 156. Mm-hmm. We then had a glycogen kind of... When we started the diet, our food had been previously inconsistent.
Very inconsistent.
And we weren't weight training with the same consistency and volume.
No.
So all of a sudden, we gained weight initially.
Yep.
And that's from stored water retention, glycogen formation. So you actually went from 156 up to 162. And now you've come all the way back down to 148.
Yep.
Yeah. So you did a very good job. So that would indicate that we did, whatever the heck the math of that is, 156 to 162 is 6 pounds. Then 162 down to 148 is 14. So 20 pounds of change? Yes. Mm-hmm. So, but we went from technically 156 down to 148, so it's actually only 8 pounds. So 20 pounds of change, but 8 pounds of loss. Mm-hmm. There you go. Well, you and I were talking about that earlier, weight change versus weight loss.
Right. And the difference. The clickbaity weight change. Where someone could say 12 pounds of weight change, but they gain 6 and lose 6 and they're back to where they start.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, not clickbaity. Yeah. I'm starting to see that I'm narrower, head on. Okay. I can see I'm narrower.
Where do you see that at?
My shoulders, my arms aren't as puffy.
Okay, so do you
mean...
My
waist.
Out of curiosity, do you mean shoulder cap or actually where your upper arms, your triceps are? Because a lot of women carry a lot of weight in the backside of their arm.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And they'll feel...
chicken wings.
Yeah, they'll feel like, oh, my arms are so fat. It's actually, you have decent muscle. There's a little fat over the muscle, and your brain is thinking all of it is fat. It's actually a good bit of it is muscle. But it can be... when your arms are resting on your side, it can make your arms appear larger. And that can often mess up people's minds. They'll think they're fatter than they are.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah.
But all things consistent, I can see, even with my arms at my side, I look narrower.
Good. Very happy for you.
I want my shoulders to get broader.
Yeah,
I want the shoulder cap.
Shoving in a lot of protein. So over 30% in your diet is protein.
Great.
Which is a nice high value.
Yeah, so the low, which is great. I lost, 2.5 pounds from last Monday?
Yeah.
About.
Yeah, about 2 pounds. Yeah,
2 pounds, which
2.3.
Which is great. 2.3.
So close to 2.5. I don't know why I changed your answer.
That's okay. It's fine. You're very accurate. And I'm very aware of my hunger now.
Yeah, so how was it? We said last week you could start to tell. We made that 300 calorie adjustment.
Yes.
So this week we really tell?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Everyone knows.
I asked Rob to please get some iceberg lettuce and vinegar so I can mix mustard vinegar and eat a head of lettuce for volume.
Yeah, which is...
I'm at that stage.
Yeah, to me that's gross because I don't eat vegetables. But to eat a head of lettuce with apple cider vinegar just sounds like...
Sounds amazing. That's how you know you're hungry.
Well, it reminds me of what I used to do whenever I had my really aggressive starvation diets where I lost 50 pounds in 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is I would drink a 2 liter of soda just to be ridiculously uncomfortable in a different way. Because I was so uncomfortable from being hungry that I would drink a 2 liter of soda in an hour so I was uncomfortable to be bloated. But I just needed a different uncomfortable. I needed to feel miserable in a different way. So I feel like if I ate a head of lettuce with vinegar, I would be uncomfortable, but at least in a different way.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah, this morning I woke up hungry.
Yeah, when you're waking up hungry, then you know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
In a good way.
In a good way.
It means your fat's coming off.
Yeah, but I woke up and by the time I was pouring my coffee, I thought I'm ready for breakfast, which is usually an hour from that point.
Yeah, sometimes you actually get into work and it's 2 or 3 hours before breakfast.
Yeah, that's just true.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
That's good because we talked last week, and we'll touch on it again right now, is when your diet is correct, you can pretty much tell time.
Yeah,
and
that's
you're gonna
very
know,
true.
You're going to know when your meals are supposed to be.
I can tell when it's 9, 12, 2, 5, and 7.
Yeah, excellent. And that's the idea is we know when our meal times are coming because you're starting to tell, hey, I burned through the last meal. I'm kind of ready for the next one.
And then your mind just flips to, okay, burning fat.
Yes. So you learn to be a little sadistic and enjoy the hunger. So yes.
Yeah, I haven't practiced that in a while.
That's true. That's interesting. Yeah.
It's a weird thing to say, but
it's fun. There's differences in stress. There's differences in suffering. So dieting can be an exciting suffering at first. Because you feel that pain, and that's almost like a signal of yes, I'm going to make progress. This is starting to work.
Yeah.
Now, if that becomes too large, too severe, or too long, you can't sustain it. So there's a right amount of hunger. Like we said, if you normally eat every 3 hours, and in about 2.5 hours, your body's like, hey, I'm kind of ready. Then you're good.
It's good.
If you normally eat every 3 hours and after 30 minutes your body's like, where the hell did that last meal go? I'm starving. Then you're in trouble because you're not going to make it.
Yeah, the last couple days I was even telling you, wow, I'm really feeling it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what are you mentioned cleaning.
Yeah.
But what are some things you do when you start to get hungry but it's not quite mealtime yet?
Window shop on Amazon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scroll and
good,
look for
good
things.
Distractions.
Now play with the dog.
Yeah, play with Daisy.
Can't nap, so just gotta stay awake for all of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't nap.
Walk.
Chew gum, drink some diet soda.
Gum and soda.
Yep.
Drink water.
Yeah, you do drink a lot of water.
Give myself
because you can drink
facial.
flavored water.
Go up and do all my skincare for an extended period of time, and it's very calming.
That's a good point.
And my face looks like a glazed donut after, so it's all good.
So pretty.
Thank you. I think that's probably... Those are the core things.
Those are good, though. But I think that's good for people to hear is...
I would study, but I think the coursework just got posted, so read, study.
Yeah, but it's good to be busy. Idle hands are the devil's playground, as they say. So don't be idle. Move around, do something, pick something to do.
Yeah.
So that can help a lot.
Yeah, but I've always been a cleaner organizer. So
you're always a doer. You don't sit much. I'm definitely the lazy one out of the two of us. Yes.
And you're not.
I take naps.
Yeah, that's
I
the
take naps on the
definition.
weekends. They're amazing. And now I have an excuse with Daisy.
Yeah.
I just want to snuggle Daisy.
Yeah, and they're both napping, and it's adorable. My heart explodes.
Yeah. 2 minutes later, I'm just off.
Yep.
Yeah. But one thing I did want to touch on, since we're talking a little bit about it, is we mentioned last week, and I wanted to bring it up again, is there's often a struggle with the belief somebody has about a number of what they should weigh.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's how you look in the mirror.
Right.
But then there's how you feel.
Yes.
So we've worked with tons of people over all the years where they might feel good, like their workouts are going really well. They just feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
But they maybe end up weighing themselves in a doctor's office, or something happens, and they see their weight, and they freak out because they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm 10 pounds heavier than I should be." And it's like,
but I'm the best I ever look.
Yeah, like you just said, you're super happy. So there's a lot of other ways to manage that, but balancing a number, how we look in the mirror versus how we perform, is a challenging balance. Because there are people who can weigh what they want to weigh. They can believe that they look good in the mirror, but they feel like crap all the time. They're hungry, they're miserable, they're moody, they don't have great workout energy.
Yesterday, yeah.
So, given those three factors, do you have any thoughts, or what's your initial feelings towards those? Like, how do you balance a number you weigh, what you look like in the mirror, and then how you feel? Does one of those feel more important to you than the other?
I have found that how I feel and how I look are very closely tied together.
Oh, interesting.
Because if I don't look good, I'm going to feel like shit. And if I feel like shit, I might look good. But yeah, so it's an interesting relationship. And if I don't like how I look and don't like how I feel, I won't step on the scale.
That's a good point.
So that might answer it. Like if I feel good and look good, I'll step on the scale and it is what it is. But it definitely didn't used to be that way.
Yeah, what were some of the old ways?
Being told at 5'2" I should weigh 110 and never weighing 110 pounds.
Yeah, probably might have weighed that when you were 12.
My calves were like 30 pounds.
Yeah, you had massive calves.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know you said how do you balance the three. I guess I answered more as in how are they related in my mind.
That's okay. And the reason why I say balance, for example, for me, is a weight number to me doesn't mean much.
Right.
But there are numbers where, like if I'm in the high 280s, 290s, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm feeling good, I'm growing. Yeah. Like just simply being in that number makes me feel like I'm growing.
Yeah. So case in point, just this past week I started weighing myself because I felt like I looked okay and I felt better.
Nice. So you were happy.
So enough. I was looking at the scale. I shouldn't say you. I was getting weighed, but you were looking at the number for me.
Yes, yeah, you didn't look at the number yourself actually until this last week.
Right.
Yeah.
And while that highlights the point that there is stigma around a number.
Oh yeah.
Even if I know it's a data point, it just from years of like millennial girl training, it messes me up if I'm not careful.
Yeah.
But it takes practice. Is like a muscle. Looking at your weight as a data point, understanding you can have 6 pound fluctuation in 1 week.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And just stay the course.
Yeah.
But I just started liking how I was looking better. I still don't love how I look, but I like how I look better. So I was okay saying, okay, what's this number for me now?
Yes. So you're open to seeing it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point. Like if you feel better and you notice you're looking better, then the number doesn't mean as much.
Correct.
But let's say, like you said, I don't feel good. I feel like I look like crap. If I were to weigh myself, why would I? Because I'd just be more depressed.
Right.
So it's interesting for you. It sounds like the number is secondary. Like it's interesting to you.
Yeah.
But it isn't a determinant of anything.
Absolutely not.
No. But we've worked with clients where it absolutely is.
Yeah.
They're dead set, like, I got to be 130.
I would just say...
And I'll be unhappy until I'm 130. And it's like You've lost your period because you're so underfed. You're over cardio, way too much cardio. You feel like crap.
Your joints hurt, your knees hurt, your shoulders
Yeah, it's like
hurt.
you're kidding me. Like, you're going to get to 130 for what?
Right.
Like, you're going to see it and then say, okay, well, it turns out that 130 didn't equate to the best me because I feel and look like crap.
Right.
So I got there. Congratulations. But now let's get back to being healthy.
Yeah.
So I can understand, like, somebody if they set it a goal, but if the goal really is
It's like arbitrary.
to be healthy, happy, look good, feel amazing, that's typically what people mean whenever they would say, I want to weigh X. They want to look good, feel good, be healthy and happy.
And not to offend runners, but because I was a runner and I do enjoy running, but
And we train runners.
yeah, exactly. Runners look good in clothes. Bodybuilders look good naked.
Ah, there you go.
I'd
That's a
rather
funny
look good naked than look good in clothes.
Yes, well, you do.
Thank you. But everything I own is stretchy.
Oh, okay.
It has to be.
That's a comical point. Yes.
Everything I own is stretchy.
That is very
Because
common
my
for most
lats,
females.
chest, yeah. My waist is small, but everything else isn't.
Yeah, you do have an X frame,
Yeah.
and it's hard to find clothes
Clothes don't fit
that
that.
fit an X frame. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't go into J. Crew. That is impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah. There's like, we laugh whenever I look for certain shirts. Like, you helped me get Built.
Built.
It's BLYT.
BYLT.
Yeah, that would be the way it was spelled. Yeah, BYLT.
Yeah.
But they're more athletic fit clothes.
Yes.
Because otherwise, if I buy a XXL, it looks like a bowling ball.
You look
Like, it looks ridiculous. It looks like a tent. Somebody just put a tent on.
you look hilarious. And then if your shirt's too small, you get all of those pulls in your shoulders, and it looks like your shoulders are just rotated forward, and you're not
Yes.
standing up straight. Like
I,
it looks.
I look like someone shrunk my clothes. Yes.
Yeah.
But it is hard to find clothes when you have
Muscle.
above average muscle mass. Yes.
Very tough.
But that's something to think of is, like, for you, a number versus mirror versus feeling. The number is interesting, but it's not the determinant.
No.
So it's balancing how you look and how you feel. Yeah. So for me, the number, again, it's interesting because I do know when I've weighed certain weights at certain times in my life, I've felt good or not felt good.
Yeah.
So I remember the first time I ever got to 240, I felt like it was amazing. And, like, I was like, I'm freaking swole, man. So I was so excited. But now if I was 240, I'd be depressed.
That was on your way up past 240.
Yes, yeah. So numbers are interesting. And since I film myself all the time, the way I look is interesting to me in the sense to where I try to look at myself in videos as if I didn't know myself.
Yeah.
So if
makes
there was
sense.
a
I do the
video
same.
screen where it's like, so for business marketing, if I make a video and it's like, say, how to build your chest, do I look like somebody that would know how to build their chest?
Yeah.
And if I don't, if I feel skinny or small that day, I'm like bummed. I'm like, I need to go eat more food.
Skinny.
Yeah.
And also, additional background, because as you said that, it made me think all of my years of dance training. So I spent hours and hours in front of a mirror analyzing myself for 24 years.
Now, did you analyze the way you looked, or technique, or was there always a
Both.
mixture of both?
There was always both, and that's
Okay.
because I was never a string bean.
Yeah.
Ever.
You were told, like, from a young age, you weren't the right shape.
Correct. My
Yeah, which
legs
is
were tree trunks. I think
screwed
I was
up.
about 11 or 12.
Yeah, that's so unhealthy. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I mean, I had boobs before anybody else, hips before anybody else. And so I didn't look like the skinny little girls that got praise in ballet class.
Yeah.
So I'm really bummed I didn't find weightlifting or powerlifting or like anything sooner.
Yeah.
I am frustrated by that.
I'm curious, and we can go through the political correctness of this because I don't want to say it in the wrong way.
Sure.
But if you could go back, or you as an adult now, how would you manage that if you were like a dance teacher? Like, to tell an 11-year-old that their legs are tree trunks, it, to me, is mentally unhealthy.
Yes.
But at the same time,
But they
I could
didn't
see,
they didn't care.
I could see the coach being like, Well, in order for her to do well in this, she does have to be smaller. That's the standard that they would look for in this industry. So how do I raise this person's awareness that they might need to work on being smaller versus insulting them? I wonder how you even touch that. I feel like there's a much better way than just insulting the child.
That's a totally different podcast. And I wasn't big. I had muscle. And that was bad. Weird.
It's interesting.
Plus, I have no waist. So if I did an arabesque, I saw rolls in my stomach before. It was just skin. But I was just built differently. My rib cage is very round. And I always, I dreamed of having, these narrow, small rib cages of my classmates. But my rib cage is just round that even at my, skinniest, you can see a very small waist. But my rib, it was just this barrel on the top. And I can't change my ribs. No. But they pointed that out also.
Gosh.
And I didn't know what to do. I just felt terrible. But to answer your question, I don't know. I would just if I was teaching young kids, I would say if they started to talk about themselves or pick at themselves, I would stop it and tell them they were beautiful and smart and you're doing great,
It's interesting. I think of it not towards kids but clients, if they say, "Oh, I want to do this category. I want to do bikini." NPC bikini. And it's tough because NPC bikini has a body type that's definitive. It's narrow shoulders, narrow waist, tall, thin.
They're so tall and skinny with huge boobs. Yeah, and their stomachs, flattest stomachs I've ever seen.
So it's interesting in the sense to where, as a coach, I want to encourage someone to look and feel their best, but I don't want to encourage them to place last in a competition because that doesn't feel good. Yeah. So I've just told them before, I'm like, hey, this is what NPC asks for. If we're not matching that, we can consider a different category, or maybe we can go drug tested. Yeah. Drug tested federations tend to have more leniency for shoulder width and hip width. Yeah. So I usually bring it up to them and just let them know, hey, just so you're aware, I don't want you to work this hard and place dead last and think that you're not good. Yeah. Your bone frame is just not going to match what they want.
That's the best way to do it because you can say you look good, you're going to look great, but you might not place in this class very well because of how you're built. You said what you could do is cross over classes and see how you do. Yeah. See how you feel. Maybe by the time you get to the show and you say, I don't want to get on stage with them.
Yeah. Well, I remember one client, this was before men's classic physique. Oh. So there's men's physique, which is where the board shorts.
I was going to say, explain it, yeah.
And then you just go to men's bodybuilding back then.
Right.
Classic physique now it's a scaled down bodybuilder. Yeah. Now, these people, when you look at professionals, nothing is scaled down. They're all 20-plus inch arms, massive human beings. But the theory of the categories is that of the three, that men's physique where you wear board shorts is the least muscular mass. Yeah. Then classic physique would be in the middle, and then men's bodybuilding is massive people. So I remember I had a client one time, they wanted to do men's physique. And I told them, I said, you're too big for men's physique. And they were like, well, I'm not big enough for bodybuilding. And I was like, well, then take more time to do bodybuilding, or you would actually have to train to decrease your arm size and bring up your chest fullness. We'd have to shape change your upper body if you want to do men's physique. And they're like, well, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, well, you're going to place dead last. You're going to go to this competition, you're going to place dead last because you're too big for men's physique. Mm-hmm. But they were too nervous, and there would be a degree of insecurity of whether they were big enough for men's bodybuilding. So they went to the competition, they placed dead last in men's physique. And I was like, damn it, I told you that was going to happen. Oh, no. And then they were mad that they placed dead last. I was like, I told you this 20 weeks ago, and I've told you every week for 20 weeks.
You could.
I was like, ah.
With you, and I have seen it 100% of the time with you.
Yeah.
Which, that's hard to say about anybody for anything. That you have called the outcome for every single client every single freaking time.
Yeah.
Y'all, if you're listening, it is mind-boggling how accurate I hope you can hear how dumbfounded I am that you can do that. I feel like you can meet someone and consult with them, and you could write down the outcome on a piece of paper, mail it to them, be like, open on show day.
You've told me to do that. Yeah.
Yes, I have, because it is insane that it's like, how do you know this?
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Just lots and lots of years of practice. Yeah.
So it's so cool to watch, though.
Yeah.
It can also be frustrating. Because I told you.
It is. It's frustrating whenever I believe a different approach for the person would be best, but they don't believe it. Yeah. And then you're like, hey, it's your body, your life. You do have to be happy with what you do.
You do you.
So choose what you want.
Yeah.
And then they choose what they wanted. And then it goes the way that I told Meredith it was going to go. And then afterwards, the client's like, why did that happen? I'm like, we just had that conversation. We literally just, the last time we spoke, that's what we spoke about.
Yeah. You're the cutest.
I get, frustrated, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, you're 100% passionate.
You
want the best for everyone.
Yeah. But that was...
Because it's a fun puzzle.
It is. It's very fun. I enjoy the... projects.
Yeah, and looking at Rob at night, it's like, man, I want to tear into some Oreos. And he's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you could if you wanted to.
All right,
but
set you back a little bit.
Help, yeah.
Yeah. I'm really hungry. Yeah, you're gonna feel hungry.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty uncomfortable.
Here's some water chestnuts. Yeah. They're kind of crunchy, like Oreos. Yeah.
Well, now you have that head of lettuce with vinegar. Yum.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
I know you are, which is sad.
Because there's the indicator, folks, if you're hungry or not.
Yeah, remember what you said last week?
If
you're hungry enough, you eat healthy food.
Yeah, if you're hungry, that you'll have chicken and vegetables or tofu and vegetables, whatever you eat.
That's how you know you're actually hungry. Yeah, don't eat crap. Eat healthy food.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you've been doing great, so I'm very happy for you. You're crushing everything along the way.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So this upcoming week, we're not planning on making any changes. The hunger level's there enough to know that we're making progress. The scale indicates that. You've been training very consistently. We've been doing really good with our step count. How many steps did you get yesterday?
10,000. Yeah. First time outside of Seattle that I hit 10,000.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
And I was at 9,300 last night, and I was like, I gotta hit 10,000. So I was walking laps in the house, and Daisy was following me.
Yeah,
she was getting steps too.
Yeah. But the day in Seattle, we went out to visit a friend. Shout out to Terry.
Hey, Terry.
I had 17,000 steps on Saturday. On a Saturday in Seattle.
Yeah.
Which is why I also drank 7,000 fruity drinks. Some random person offered me a free donut I ate.
Well, that was the best because we were walking back to the houseboat and it was a festival. There was a big festival there. So it wasn't just hey, you want a donut? So it was some stand that was closing up and she walked up to Rob who was covered in sweat.
Just dying.
Big gorilla. Do you want some donuts? And he's like, yes! I took 3 bags of donuts. And there he is, sweating, eating the donuts, walking back. It was the cute.
Yeah. I burned through every calorie I had
You
that
had
day.
so much sugar that day.
It was ridiculous.
Terry was a little, perplexed at how that was
he was
possible.
Probably alarmed for me. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, you're gonna go home with diabetes.
Yeah, meanwhile, I would have the food item and then in 40 minutes have cold sweats again.
Yeah.
Because I burned through it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was fun. Yeah, 17,000 steps is probably a record for me.
For sure.
In one day.
Even on vacation, we were at 10.
Yeah, anytime we go on vacation, 8. We've gone on a couple cruises, and our step count almost triples in vacation than it does in regular life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because we're not stuck at the computer all day.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, but it's fun. I don't know, it's just neat. You crushed it. You're doing great with your step counts.
Thank you.
So
I like my little $14 pedometer. It's great.
Yeah.
Gets the job
done.
That
is what we're using, just a pedometer off Amazon. Because you don't carry your phone I do. I carry my phone in my pocket pretty much all day.
Yeah. Someone asked what was on my hip, and I said a pedometer, and they said, what's that?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, God.
Yeah.
I said a Fitbit?
It's a Fitbit, but not as many bits.
Yeah. It's a 1 bit.
Yeah, it's a 1 bit fit. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's great. I mean, it gets the job done.
Yeah. It's been fun to track that because we knew going into the diet, like at the 24-week mark when we started, we knew our step count was maybe around 2,000 to 3,000 a day.
On a good day.
Yeah, and we're like, that's probably not going to work. Like, we're going to have some more movement. So let's start getting a pedometer. Let's start tracking some things. And that's the nice balance is, like, you can modify how much you eat. You can modify how much and how frequent you weight train. But there's only so little you want to eat. There's only so much you want to weight train.
Right.
So then what do you do with the remaining amount of kind of movement that you need? And that would be basic step count.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember my last coach told me that too during the prep, and I didn't listen.
Oh, that's funny.
I didn't listen.
Why did you not listen? You're not the type to not listen.
Because at that time, the advice he gave was like do laps in the office building, like walk around when you're on a meeting, like a.
It's not really applicable for certain people's jobs.
There was stuff that was just like I don't think I can. So not like go for extra walks or stuff. It was like the little steps. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, I also had like 3 jobs, so. Yeah,
you were busy enough for sure. But no, we've had clients where they're in a office building. I don't know how to word it, so I'm just going to say it the way I'm about to say it is. You're not on the top of the totem pole, so you just can't do weird stuff.
Right.
You're one of the worker bees.
Yeah.
So you can't just be a wacko walking around the hallways talking on your phone. But, like, I'm going to take a meeting from the hallway. It's like, no, that's awkward and weird for everyone else. You don't get to do that.
Yeah.
So there are certain times where, park at the end of the parking lot or take the stairs around the elevator.
Those little steps.
Like, sometimes that helps, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you're late for work, you take the stairs and you get fired.
You walk in sweating.
Yeah, in my case, you walk in, you look like you got drenched. Yeah. Somebody's like, is it rain outside? I'm like, nope. Yeah.
Oh, your face. Nope.
Nope.
Why?
Yeah. Why? What are you asking? Yeah. I don't even have an umbrella. What are you talking about?
So cute.
But you're crushing it. You're doing really well.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
Yeah. So is there anything, trying to think this week, upcoming, we don't have any travel, nothing special, nothing amazing?
Yeah, you said no diet changes. Yep. So let's talk about what I'm eating. We did make a little, we did that volume.
Yeah, we did make that change.
So I'm still having my Canyon House bagel with egg, whipped butter, and sugar-free jelly.
Yes.
And I look forward to that thing every single morning.
Yes, that's your breakfast now with some core power.
Yep. And then I have 3 cheese sticks, light cheese sticks as a snack.
Mm-hmm.
And then dinner is chicken, white rice, and either mixed vegetables or peas to get the added volume.
Yes, yeah. So, and then our lunch was the chickpea pasta with
lunch
the chicken.
Was the chickpea pasta.
Yeah. So the major change we made was at dinner to increase the volume.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than just having 6 ounces of chicken and half a pouch of microwavable rice, which doesn't feel like much, we took the calories from the rice, divided that up across vegetables and rice.
Yeah.
So now you're having half of one of those bird's eye microwavable steam fresh veggies, the bags.
Yeah, I love those.
Yes, you're having peas on some nights. The other nights you're having mixed
veggies.
Whatever it is. Snap peas, carrots, and water chestnuts.
Yeah. And broccoli.
And broccoli, that's right.
The first day we added vegetables and it was all peas, no rice.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even finish all of it.
That was too much
a lot of peas.
Yeah.
It's a lot of peas.
Yeah. So now we know, like, okay, maybe a quarter bag of the rice with a little bit of vegetables.
I think we found a perfect balance for now.
Yeah. And that's the idea, like, as of right now, your volumes now that we made that change, our volumes per meal feel comfortable.
Yes.
Given the time frame until the next meal.
Right.
Yeah. And then we would just continue to modify that if that starts to feel like not enough.
Yeah.
As your body's being pushed closer and closer to being leaner, as we're pushing our training more, as we reduce calories, the volumes may start to get too low. So then we start swapping and changing food out, just like we do with dinner. Because there's nutrient density to foods, where the size of the food is different based on what food you choose, even if the calories are the same.
Yeah.
So 100 calories of pizza looks a lot different than 100 calories of lettuce, volume-wise.
How many calories do you think are in a head of iceberg lettuce?
Oh, man, not even 100.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How many calories does water have? Water with fiber. Yeah. Put some fiber in water and that's head of lettuce, basically. Perfect. Yeah. Awesome. But yeah, so that was very good. So
were those all the questions you had? Was that the question?
That is everything. I feel like I want to have one more now because you asked. So
think of one.
Oh no. Trying to think. The next thing we'll have to get into is posing.
Oh yeah.
So now, typically, I don't like to have posing. Yeah, true. I don't like to have people pose until they can see something.
You don't think I can see anything?
I didn't say that towards you.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean by that? But in a general sense, I don't like to have people pose until they can see something because it can be very defeating.
Oh, now, it's a huge...
The balance is, though, when people want to get ready for competition that involves posing, they want to do it now. So we'll be starting a diet at, like, say, 16 weeks out. They're like, can you show me everything I need to know about posing? I'm like, no.
16 weeks?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And it's like, you just don't need to know it yet. It's overwhelming. I would rather you learn the nutrition
you're
first.
Gonna feel like shit.
Like, we got a lot of stuff we got to do that's more important than posing yet. Posing is how you show the final product. You have to get to the final product.
Side note, posing is freaking hard.
Yes, let's so unwrap that a bit. What's hard about it?
It is so hard. Try it, like if you're listening, just for funsies, try to suck your belly button into your spine and then flex all of it.
Yeah, so flex every muscle and pull your stomach in.
Hold it.
For 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then quarter turn to the right.
Yeah. I love you so much. Yeah, then just hold it and then do it again 30 times.
Then quarter turn to the right.
Quarter turn to the right.
Again. Quarter turn to the right.
But you're so cute. Yeah, just everything is tensed and flexed, and you're in the most unnatural position.
A very uncomfortable position.
Because you're like bent over and hyperextended and flexed and like you're posing so where the judges are seated below, they see it. So you're standing in a way that people sitting on the floor, like looking up at a stage.
Yeah, so you have to like forwardly tilt your hips, which makes the glutes protrude, which is beneficial for aesthetics.
It's a great look.
And it also gets rid of the crease under the glute for a lot of women.
It's great.
So you do have to rotate your hips forward, which is funny because we've undone that on you, genetically standing there. But you do that for posing. And then, like you said, is the upper body angle has to be awkward because you're pointing yourself. It's like if there's a laser pointer coming out of your chest.
Yes.
You want to point it to the floor, not directly in front of you.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's an odd standing position.
Yeah, and you have to practice flexing muscles you don't know you have.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have to find them and then flex them. And then that's a whole thing.
And when you're on stage, they can see you between poses. So when people practice posing, they'll hit a pose.
And then like relax.
And then they relax into the sloppy position. Yeah. Then they refidget their feet. They get back into the super tight position.
True.
It's like you don't get to do it on stage. On stage, they can see you every single second of the entire time you're on stage.
Yeah.
So even if you're on the sides and you haven't been called to the middle yet, like they can still see you. Like you got to be tucking that belly in. You got to tighten all that up. You can't just be slouching. You look like you have a story.
I do. Yeah. And I'm really bummed I don't get to do a routine.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was a lot
women's
of fun.
figure doesn't have the women's physique type routines that you got to do.
No, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll cross over and do it just to
do
a routine.
We'll just do it for fun.
Just do it for fun.
Yeah.
Weird fun, but yes. This is the same suit. So my story. After winning overall at a show, I was able to... I qualified for a national show. Mm-hmm. And the women... There were over 25 women in my class, like in physique, and I don't remember the whole number. Mm-hmm. But similar to what you're saying, practice standing on the side.
Oh yes.
I didn't practice for anything other than my poses.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm standing on the side, and they're calling the top 5, and clearly it's not going to be me. right? So I'm just standing there, and then I hear my number, and I was like, shit. What do I do? I didn't practice for this. How do I stand?
Yeah.
And I looked so silly, and it was so...
You got top 5. It couldn't look that bad.
But...
Top 5 of nationals?
Yeah, but top 5 based on the poses I practiced.
True.
This was like go stand in the ring with the other top women that have been doing it forever and and are clearly like pro level.
I can see you feeling like a baby giraffe, but you probably looked fine on stage.
I didn't know how to use my feet. Is basically what it felt like.
Yes.
And I was like, I look so silly.
Oh.
I clearly look like I don't know what I'm doing and I'm new.
Oh.
I just ended up in the top 5.
That's awesome. That's fun though.
But we'll practice.
Yeah, so
more than just
that's what
poses.
I do with all my our clients is we practice all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So initially you first start by just practicing individual poses. Mm-hmm. Then you practice the poses strung together, like as if you're aware of the in-betweens.
Yeah.
And then you do want to practice just standing in what's called a front relaxed position, which is anything but relaxed. But it's called a front relaxed. You want to stand in that. And you want to be able to stand in it for like good solid 3, 4, 5 minutes. Good. Like if people don't practice that conditioning level, they will lose position on stage. Yeah. And if you're not the top 5, you are being judged when you're standing on the edges. And it would be very uncommon, but there's still the possibility of it. Yeah. To where, say, they're not sure if you're going to be in 6 through 10. They look over and you're standing there with your belly hanging out. They might bump you into the 11 to 15 group. Mm-hmm. So just being aware that you're always being judged is helpful because then you're always attentive to your positions.
Yeah. Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, so when we start doing posing, maybe we'll film some stuff for everybody and practice some of that. So it'll be fun. Yeah, I know. You're.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. But
my suit's too small for that.
I like that, yeah. We'll have to get one of those like 1950s swimsuits. Yeah. Where it's like the big
shorts.
Big band shorts. Yeah.
Perfect.
That'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Sign me up.
But yes, so you look like you could pose now.
Thank you.
But we will wait till we're closer to the competition.
Thank you.
And again, the reason why is, I guess another reason that I didn't say yet is also, I like people to be focusing on what's most important first. If you give them multiple things to focus on, 99.9% of the time they're going to focus on other than what was the first thing.
Right.
They'll focus on something and you're like, that's not the most important, stop doing that. So I don't even like to tell them what it is. I know. Don't even give them the thing until they need to know it.
Yep.
Because that way our attention isn't shifted off. Well, I did 2 hours of posing practice today. What was your calories? I don't know. Not good. Not good. So, but yeah, so we'll start addressing that in the upcoming weeks, which will be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go for a run with Daisy now.
Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm. Crazy lady. Good for you.
Yeah. Get my steps in.
Yep. Okay. So that was a good podcast. Thank you for being here. And
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, if anybody following the podcast, if there's anything specific you want to know in the podcast, any questions you have, reach out on our website, www.brutalirongym.com. You can scroll down to the bottom of the homepage. There's a contact form. Also on the homepage is a podcast player that goes back 300 episodes. So if you're listening on something like iTunes or Apple Podcasts, they only go back 100. So if you're looking for some of the older podcasts, if you're interested, you can find those on the website. And then if you like the information that we share in the podcast, make sure you share it on social media. The more people that know about the podcast, the more people will be helped by it. If you want to donate to support the podcast, you can do that on the website. And then we do share other information on our social media channels on Instagram and YouTube. You can find us and follow us on those platforms under the name Brutal Iron Gym. Okay, well, as always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.